make that motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Supervisor's Financial Report, February 2016. General tax warrant in full, $652,676. Fire district tax warrant in full, $465,458. Police fees, $15. Ambulance donation, $250. Ambulance fees, $2,341.77. Central mail contractual, $214.32. Marshall and Sterling Town Insurance reimbursement, $801. I believe that's town clerk fees, $62.61. Unpaid Pine Hill water bills, $7,693.82. Cell tower, $917.75. Justice fees, $10,199.25. Permits, code officer, zoning, $200. Planning fees, $125. Building permit fees, $4,252. Dog licenses, $99. Highway 2016 tax warrant, $1,430,078. In lieu of taxes, $11,212.21. FEMA reimbursement, $7,711.62. Unpaid Pine Hill water bills, $23,955.10. Reimbursement for work done, $437.50. January 2016 interest, 65 cents. USDA federal aid, $140,802.42, for a grand total of $2,759,503.02. Communications. Month of March 2016, sales tax. Last month I spoke of the recent discussion at the county level and concerns that I and many of my counterparts have in regard to the county's interest in possibly reducing the amount of sales tax revenue dispersed to the towns in the city of Kingston. Tonight we have a resolution making it clear that we are in support of the county maintaining their sales tax sharing agreement with the city of Kingston and maintaining the status quo. We hear that the county may be rethinking their position on this issue, and we certainly hope it comes to resolve within the next few months. Audits and accounting. As we continue to slog through mounds of paperwork and requirements for several state and federal grants, New York Rising Program, and FEMA projects, we will continue to be required to have an independent auditor review our accounting and file reports back to the federal agencies. This will cover a period of years where we received more than $500,000 in 2013 and 2014, and more than $750,000 in 2015 and probably 2016. We have a resolution tonight to rehire the firm that completed the audit for 2012, where some deficiencies were noted, but mostly due to the procedures used back then. Following a visit by the comptroller's office, we updated and changed much of the filing system and created better backup systems, and so these audits should go much smoother as time progresses. The firm is also familiar with our record keeping and staff, which should help expedite these audits, which would help reduce the cost. Additionally, we have a resolution to upgrade our accounting software. The move to enhanced business systems will help us make the office more efficient, cost less than our current software program that has not been changed since prior to 1992. The current system in place does not allow for our town accountant to access our system remotely in the cases where a correction needs to be done. This is done now by making printouts and faxing copies over, waiting for a response, then manually entering the correction. The cost is a one-time fee to install and train the staff, but will only cost a few $100s annually for continuous software upgrades and unlimited technical support. Police and court. We have said in the report that we have our longest tenured full-time officer leaving our ranks. Officer Chris Facenda is retiring effective March 9, 2016. He has been serving the community for more than 20 years and is moving on to other work. We wish him well in his future endeavors, while we welcome on board a new full-time officer, Ryan Benincasa. Officer Benincasa has been working for the department for more than 2 years in a part-time capacity and has enjoyed working here so much that he has taken up residency here. This brings our department up to 3 full-time officers, while I should remind everyone that we are contractually required to maintain 4 full-time officers. If you see Officer Benincasa, please help him feel welcome in our community. Additionally, we had a few years ago, we were required to hire special prosecutors to assist in the processing of traffic tickets given by state troopers. One of those gentlemen had to leave us this January, as he was appointed as councilor for the city of Kingston by new Mayor Steve Noble. We wish Dana Blackman the best of luck in this regard, and we welcome Constantinos Valeris, who comes to us from West Hurley and has a resume including past work with the State Attorney General's Office and the Rensselaer County Courts. Phoenicia Water, I've started processing our way through the $415,000 grant for the Water District, and as with all state and federal grants, there are a number of requirements to be met. First of which is to complete an environmental review for the project, which entails formally naming me as the certifying officer for the project and sending a letter from the town board to involved agencies requesting we be allowed lead agency for the project's environmental review. We will continue to work through these procedures, which may include the need to hire an administrator and will require the need for an engineering firm, which will all have to go out to bid. Hopefully we can get some of the projects started this coming summer. Highway, we have a few resolutions concerning highway work and bridges that are due to be replaced. We will be awarding the bids from last month for engineering of the Panther Kill Bridge, the first of our New York Rising projects, and to start pending property owner approval, a slope stabilization project to help maintain Muddy Brook Road, a FEMA project. We are accepting bids to replace the Peck Hollow Bridge, another FEMA project, and will move to award following review by the engineer for completeness. Lastly, we're going out to bid for another FEMA project, replacement of the Muller Road Bridge. We hope to have these projects complete by the end of summer. Also, in conjunction with these, understand that FEMA reimburses the town for projects upon milestones. So the town has to bear the cost initially, then await payment from the federal government. Due to this, it is practical to file a bond anticipation note, which gives us the availability to get a bond to cover the cost while we await repayment from FEMA. Eric and I feel confident that we may be able to work through these projects without getting a bond, but it is just good judgment and practice, especially with our previous experience with FEMA reimbursement payments. Lastly, Eric, board member Discofani, and I met with members of the Highway Department to negotiate the contract, which expired in December of last year. Last week, the highway employees ratified the new contract, which now only requires approval by the town board. Of note, in the new contract are salary increases of 0% for 2016, 1% in January of 2017 and June of 2017, 2% for 2018, and 2% for 2019. We also increased compensatory time slightly to allow for more time to be saved and used at a later date. Previously, employees were paid overtime for Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays regardless of previous time worked or not during the week. The new contract explains that if an employee runs out of time, comp time, personal, sick, etc., they are not eligible to receive overtime in a work week where 40 hours are not worked. Additionally, employees are no longer eligible for holiday pay if they do not work or have time accruals to cover the day before or after a holiday, which follows the policy set forth for the general employees. DOT bridges. In meeting with New York State DOT and engineers for the replacement of the Route 42 bridge by Glenbrook Park, they disclosed that the project will most likely start sometime in late April, early May, and take until November. They will be placing a single signaled lane during the term of the construction. Concurrently, starting in May until Columbus Day, construction will take place closing the Route 28 bridge by Farmer Jones Baby Barns. Traffic will be routed along Creekside Drive for the duration of the project. DOT officials, at my request, have included incentives to have the Route 28 bridge completed by Columbus Day to try to be open by the holiday weekend and allow free flow of traffic from Claire's annual Fall Festival. They're going to contact me in order to have a public meeting prior to the start of both projects. Most likely it would be prior to next month's town board meeting slated for Monday, April 4th. Parkinson's Month. Again, we join in marking April as Parkinson's Awareness Month and have a resolution showing our support for finding a cure. Parkinson's disease is not only debilitating to the individual diagnosed with it, but bears a burden on the family and friends who witness its effect on the patients. Please take a moment during the month of April to reach out to a multitude of organizations who are working hard to find a cure for this terrible disease. And lastly, substance abuse. Speaking of debilitating, we again and tragically are reminded of another scourge that is upon us. Last week, as many of you know, we lost another youth in our community. Ryan Molnar, who just recently turned 20, was taken from his family in our community. The loss of a child within a tight-knit community such as we have here is tragic enough by itself, but when it comes at the hand of this demon drug called heroin, it leaves everyone searching for answers that can't be found. Ryan was our highway superintendent's nephew and attended school with my oldest daughter. Whether you knew Ryan or not, or his family, everyone needs to recognize this is not a new problem, nor is it one that has any easy solutions. I know there are a few people here tonight that wish to address this problem. We always welcome comments from the public at our meetings. I just ask that everyone allow us to get through our business tonight, and then we'll welcome a brief discussion on the topic following our meeting. So our next meeting is slated for Monday, April 4th, 2016 at 7 p.m. Joyce?
Okay, upcoming events for March. This Wednesday, March 9th, the Flying Cat Music presents Dennis Stromat at the Empire State Railway Museum at Phoenicia at 7:30 p.m. Saturday, March 12th is the corned beef dinner at the Memorial United Methodist Church in Shandaken. Dinner starts at 5, takeouts at 4:30. Saturday, March 12th is also the Big Indian Native American Gathering at the Shandaken Historical Museum in Pine Hill from 1 to 4. Tuesday, March 15th is the Pine Hill 2020 Visioning Meeting, number 3, 6:30 at the Zephyr Restaurant, Pine Hill. All Pine Hill residents and business owners should attend. Saturday, March 19th, the breakfast fundraiser at the Phoenicia Fish and Game Club down in Mount Tremper. And the Upstate Spay and Neuter Mobile Van will be here Saturday, March 26th. They also have a rabies distemper clinic in the morning, and we also offer the $25 cat spay for residents of the town through the town clerk's office. Shandaken Community Garden still has plots available at the Phoenicia School. Call them for information at 845-202-1117. And lastly, coming in April on Saturday the 16th, save the date for the annual Boy Scout Penny Social. And that's going to be held at the Parish Hall. Of course, all these events are always posted on our Facebook page, our website, and as well as meetings are posted on YouTube the next day. That's it.
Awesome list. I didn't have it in my comments, but I had written a letter to Governor Cuomo concerning cellular communications and the lack of it throughout the corridor. I wrote it as the chair of the Scenic Byway Committee, basically, the municipal leaders group. I finally got a response from Public Service Commission actually today, forwarded it to Joyce, and it's been posted online. There is a website and contact person that I'd ask all the public to try and reach out to. Send your comments, complaining about the lack of cellular coverage in the town. It's not just our town, it's from Olive all the way to Andes. So any comments you can submit is just going to help our cause. The Public Service Commission is actively pursuing, looking to try to solve this problem and get involved in it. So hopefully we'll get some kind of headway coming. So. Well, they have $500 million to help. It's not only for cellular communication, improved cellular communication, but also to improve broadband coverage and cable services throughout underserved or underserved areas. So like we've already started talking to them about places like Rose Mountain Road, further up in Woodland Valley, Money Brook, and stuff like that. So again, if you've got an area, we will be making a committee to talk about the Time Warner contract, which is up in May of next year. So we'll be looking for people to get involved in that and hopefully get some headway and get some more cable service at least, and if not cellular service going throughout the town.
So those links are on the website and Facebook page now, so you can go back down.
Thank you.
Do you want me to read the legal notices now or first resolution? There's like a legal notice.
Yeah.
Might be one.
I don't think it's
They were posted, everything.
Yeah. We'll move on to committee reports. And with Chief Kohler.
Good evening. February 2016 report of the Town of Shandaken Ambulance. Total calls received was 46. Mutual aid was given twice to the Olive First Aid Unit. The short month of February proved to be an extremely busy one for the ambulance service, and one that unfortunately ended in another young life taken too soon. A trend that in the past 6 months has become more common for us here. The difference in this current situation versus other recent calls involving young people is that many feel that there could have been an alternative ending. The long and the short of it is that addictions kill. And as much as we have wonder drugs in our drug boxes to temporarily fix the effects, addiction kills quicker and more effectively than that. Users, as well as some citizens in our town and outside our town, think that just because police, EMS, and even citizens are armed with Narcan, they can expect to be saved if they overdose from an opioid. I've placed a box of Narcan and a Band-Aid on the table up front. The fact is that Narcan is the same as a Band-Aid in this situation. And I would like to clarify why that is, as well as provide a little background and education into our part in this epidemic. Narcan, or naloxone, is a drug carried by first responders that counters the effects of opioids. Opioids include heroin, prescription pain pills like morphine, codeine, oxycodone, methadone, and Vicodin. When a person overdoses on an opioid, breathing can slow down or stop, and death or permanent deficit may occur, as with every depressant. Narcan blocks the effects of opiates by directly blocking opioid receptor sites in the body that cause the body to react, and subsequently puts the person into immediate withdrawal. If given to a person who has not taken opioids, it doesn't do anything. Narcan is not a new drug and has been carried by paramedics for over 20 years. Only recently has it been allowed to be in the hands of police officers, EMT basics, and laypersons through enabling legislation and amendment of laws secondary to the exploding opioid epidemic. The problem lies in the time between a person overdosing and the person receiving Narcan. More often than not, we find individuals that have been unattended users, and the damage is already done. The body needs oxygen for every single thing it does. As opioids are depressants that slow the central nervous system, thus causing a lower rate or cessation of breathing and lower heart rate, both of which are directly related to the amount of oxygen the body gets. The body starved of oxygen, it begins to fail, and death occurs shortly thereafter. The town of Shandaken is fortunate that we have many responders that are armed with Narcan. But if your body has been starved of oxygen for even minutes before we arrive, there's not much we can do, and the damage is already done. Permanent brain injury secondary to lack of oxygen occurs in 5 minutes' time, regardless of what it's causing it. Try holding your breath for the rest of this meeting. Let us know how it works out. So, when users take a drug regularly, they develop a tolerance to it as well, meaning that they need to use more product to get the same effect. Conversely, the same goes for users that haven't used for a while or haven't had access to drugs. Tolerance drops, causing users to take too much for the body to handle. Half-life of medications play a huge part of that too. Sometimes users will take prescription opioids that have a half-life of 24 hours, then use heroin the next day, causing an overdose. Narcan itself is susceptible as well, which has a half-life of 1 to 1.5 hours. This is much less than heroin and morphine and some of the extended-release drugs. Taking more opiates following Narcan can bring on a second overdose, which we have seen cases of. Sustained-release opioids like OxyContin provide the drug over 12 hours or more, so the effect of naloxone will wear out long before these drugs are metabolized and excreted. As the aforementioned facts provide you with some insight into what we're facing in the field and how it works in the body, the bottom line is that opiate drugs can and will kill you. EMS may be able to do something, but the damage may be done already. If damage isn't done, and addiction statistics prove something, we will be prolonging your life instead of actually saving it. The true life saving here is in the continued support of law enforcement to get it off the streets, the support and continued access of inpatient, outpatient, and post-incarceration detox and rehabilitation services for the addicted, and the help of community to provide prevention and education to young, old, and even users so that we all can be as safe as we can be. It takes a village, and nobody is an island. If you or one of your loved ones is suffering from addiction, do not wait and get help now. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Move on, please.
I'm just going to direct my comments to both the town board and the citizens that are here tonight. Rich is right. It does take a community. And for me, to see the outpouring of support here tonight is just, it's great. Cassandra and Cheney are here from the Route 2 Toll Coalition. amazing organization that they started, and that is exactly what we need. We need to educate our youth on opiate addiction. Like Chris says, it does really take the whole community to combat this epidemic, as they're calling it. It's not just a Shandaken issue. As most of you know, I work for the Sheriff's Office full-time, and my capacity there, I'm a police trainer. I'm an instructor in Narcan, and we trained over 120 officers throughout Ulster County in the use of Narcan. And every police officer got their own kit, and they're carrying it in the cars, including our Shandaken guys. They're carrying it as well. Chris said it's just a Band-Aid. Narcan wears off. We actually had a case in Ellenville where the guy was hit with Narcan twice within a 4 to 6 hour period. It's just a Band-Aid. So there's a lot of false sense of security with Narcan being more readily available. The second part of the Narcan training that we go through as police officers is the Good Samaritan Law, and that was a law that was passed like 2 years ago, I believe. What the Good Samaritan Law does is it allows the caller to call and report an opiate overdose, or any overdose for that matter, with some type of protection from being arrested. So there's really no need to not call if a loved one is overdosing. You don't have to worry about getting arrested. We're not coming there to arrest anybody during an overdose situation. There's very, very limited laws that we can enforce in that type of situation. So that's important. And that's one of the things that the 212 Coalition is putting out there. Not only are they putting out there, stuff about the Good Samaritan Law, where you can get help, but they're also providing a great community asset, and that's all the forums that they're doing. I was very fortunate to attend one in Woodstock a couple weeks ago. Kind of not really attended the way I thought it was going to be, especially for the town of Woodstock. And I also got to sit on the community forum for the Ontiora High School. We did 2 assemblies, one for the 9th and 10th graders and one for the 11th and 12th graders. Very moving. It was, you could hear a pin drop in the room with all the students. We did a community forum at night for the parents, and once again I was disappointed in the amount of people that actually showed up for it. There seemed to be more politicians there than parents. So that was a little disheartening for me. I thought it would be more well attended. So with that being said, I welcome all your comments. Looking forward to working with you. And it really is an epidemic. It's not just here, it's everywhere. It's across the country. We really need to get with our local politicians, our state politicians, and even, I know Schumer's been really great. He just gave us the heighted designation for Ulster County, which allows us to get more money to try and fight this issue. But really, it's something that 6 months from now, when everyone's emotions go away, we can't just let it go. We got to continue on what we're doing. We got to support Cassandra and Shani and what they're doing, because it really is, that's what we need to do. We need to educate our youth. So, thanks. And any comments, concerns, questions, I'll be here after the meeting.
Commissioner Water.
Good evening. We had a pretty serious leak at the old chlorinating plant, and it's been temporarily fixed. We're not sure when they're going to get back in to do a final repair. But right now everything is solid. Do need a new vehicle for Rick, which I thought was going to be in tonight's resolutions, but I don't see it. So if before it self-destructs around, it's 3/4 rusted away now. And that's about it. Everything else is running smoothly. We have a meeting on the 16th, Wednesday the 16th, 6:30 at the library. Thanks.
Real important Department of Water. Richard said he was going to be able to make the for the museum, and Lori's out of town for recreation.
Yes.
So we'll move on to public comments on the resolution.
Okay.
Public comment on the resolution.
Oh,
We get there. Business. There's nothing to be said. We'll move on to that. I will just tell the town board that we do, once the discussion ensues, we do have an executive session item that we have to do. All right. So we'll go to executive session after we get through all public comments and stuff, after the resolutions. We'll move on to resolutions.
Resolution 6216, resolution to pay all bills. Whereas the Department of Audit and Control require the town boards to sign and inspect vouchers coming into the town for payment to number and total the amounts from each fund. Therefore be it resolved that the town board authorize the following vouchers paid. General, $58,907.86. Highway, $47,923.55. Phoenicia Water, $3,422.07. Phoenicia Lights, $1,002.03. Chichester Lights, $141.80. Pine Hill Lights, $571.23, with a total of $111,968.54, and I move its adoption.
I'll second.
Board Member Albert?
Yes.
Board Member DeScalani?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Story?
Yes.
Supervisor Daniels?
Yes.
Resolution 6316, memorializing resolution and extending the 2011 sales tax agreement between the County of Ulster and the City of Kingston for an additional 5-year term. Whereas by agreement dated October 10, 2010, the City of Kingston and the County of Ulster entered into a sales tax sharing agreement, the agreement, which provided the County of Ulster imposing a county-wide sales tax, the City of Kingston refraining from imposing a sales tax, and for the net proceeds of the sales tax to be shared between the following municipality entities. The County of Ulster gets 85%, City of Kingston 11.5%, towns and villages distributed based upon full validation 3%. And whereas said agreement was in place for the period from March 1st, 2011 to February 29, 2016. And whereas the town of Shandaken projects a sales distribution of approximately